morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. This is Studying Smarter, which we try to do every day, but I'm not doing this morning, and that's the tea. So I'm in a crisis. It's 5:30. I have a meeting at 9:30, and by the time I go to that meeting, I need to have about half of the second chapter of my thesis done. Is it done? Absolutely not. I'm a fourth-year history student, and at my university, to graduate, you have to write a thesis. There's no set length. It depends on your discipline. So for history, it's a 3-chapter structure plus intro plus conclusion, should be between 85 to 100 pages. I am currently on the second chapter of my thesis, and I'm struggling. I've had 2 weeks to write some of this, and I haven't because it's been rough. I'm writing my thesis on Countess Matilda of Tuscany. She was a countess in the 11th century, a big figure in the conflict between empire and papacy, between Henry IV and Pope Gregory VII. And I'm looking at her representations in polemical literature. It's rough times this morning. You guys, I'm tired. Today's a busy day. I hate having busy days. It's supposed to be reading days so I can study for my finals. That's not happening. I'm gonna try to write. I feel like I'm really channeling like my inner V right now with this thesis crisis. It's not an essay crisis, but it's a crisis. This is what I have so far of my chapter. Like a little bit of introduction, and then, I mean, look at that. That is not a full sentence right here. I love that. And a tiny bit of conclusion, which I don't know how I've written the conclusion when I haven't written anything else. So I need to flesh this out a little bit, especially this section. Like I really want to get a couple paragraphs written. So I've made tea in my Gemini mug, and guess I'm just gonna start writing. Oh, it's literally 5:30 in the morning, and I have to think about medieval history. It's so early in the morning. I just want to sleep. Okay. So now that it's been 30 minutes, I'm gonna take a break and make myself another cup of tea because I'm definitely gonna need it today. I don't drink coffee, so tea is the only way I get my caffeine. So I'm gonna have to drink a lot today. So I'm taking a quick break, and I realized the sun's starting to come up. I'm a morning person, but this is just too much for me, you know? Like starting to write like a thesis, like something intense like this so early is not it. Update though, I feel like I'm making good progress. I'm on to the 6th page now, and remember this is going to be like 20 pages ish, so I still have a long way to go, but I'm feeling better about it. So right now, my structure is I have my introduction, and then I talk about perceptions of women in the 11th century. That needs to be fleshed out because I'm talking about, you know, biblical representations of women, so talking about Peter and Paul, and then I'm doing Henrician critiques of Matilda before 1092, and then Henrician critiques of Matilda after 1092 when he was defeated at a battle at Canossa, and it like changed the momentum of the war between Matilda and Henry IV. And then I'm doing a case study for the Gregorians to show that these tropes of women that the Henricians were using, kind of portraying women as like sexual threats or inciting confusion or being unfit to rule and for command, was not something that was just used by Henricians to attack Matilda, but was actually used by Gregorians as well. And it's this interesting thing where Gregorians are trying to defend Matilda, but at the same time, they're not trying to change the gender stereotypes of the time or the tropes. They're just trying to bend them to their purposes. And so they don't like women. They're not feminists or anything like that. They're like, women are still weak and unfit to rule, except this one woman. And so I was thinking, I have no evidence for this, but I was like, that kind of exceptionalizing narrative of like, all women are bad except for Matilda, I feel like that's one of the root causes of this continuing exceptionalization of Matilda, just like as a medieval woman in authority, because that wasn't that rare, to be honest. Like, if we're gonna talk about the tea, medieval women like holding independent power at the same time that Matilda was in power, Adeline of Turin was the sole ruler of Turin. Nobody talks about her. Where is she? Where is she in this literature? It's all Matilda. So I'm wondering if that exceptionalizing narrative of like, women are bad, oh, but except Matilda, like, is that where that exceptionalizing narrative comes from? I'd be interested to see. I have no evidence for it. It's just a thought. But we're thinking thoughts this morning. It's going, it's moving, things are happening. It is now almost 7 o'clock. Okay, so that means I have 2.5 hours before I have to be at my meeting, which means I have an hour and a half left to work because I need to give myself an hour to shower and get ready, and all of that fun stuff. So I'm gonna work on this for another hour. This isn't even as much as a crisis as I thought it was gonna be. Like, this is going pretty well. Watch, I'm gonna get to my meeting and my professor's gonna be like, this is trash. And I'm gonna be like, okay. But we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna keep doing some work. Okay guys, it's exactly 8 o'clock and I'm gonna call it quits. I made a lot of progress, actually, more than I thought I would. So crisis averted. Thank God. There are gonna be more of these though, because I still have a whole nother chapter to write and I have to finish this one in intro and conclusion. So this next semester is just gonna be full of thesis crises. Thank you guys for watching my thesis crisis. I hope you guys have a great week.